Okay, welcome viewers to episode 2 of the Sam and IJ podcast.
Of
Uh,
season two.
Sorry, season 2, episode 2.
Yes.
And today we're going to be going through a list of items and we'll be discussing whether they are red flags or not.
So it's a question. Is it a red flag or not?
Yeah, red flag.
So far we have a list of 10 items. I'm adding one more
Which one are you adding?
due to what happened on the staircase when we're coming here. So the last one is going to be chivalry in men, or lack of chivalry in men. Yes.
Wow.
Like helping people carry their bags up the step when you're walking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's start from the very first one. So how we're going to go is we're going to pick the first
Okay.
possible red flag. You can add your own.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I know what I'll do.
So you can add your own.
No, wala.
Okay. So we'll pick a topic
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll discuss it. Should it be a red flag? And let's start with so that we are clear what we mean by red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Red flags are things that you possibly look out for that will make you not enter a relationship, right? Or if you're in a relationship, you're not married, you're going to break up with the person because it's a red flag. Now the question is, should all red flags even lead to break up or not entering a relationship, or at this stage you should just be mindful of and discuss. So those are part of things we talk about.
Yeah, but I think red flag, we should limit the red flags to things that are worth breaking up over. If not, the conversation will get to.
Yeah. So let's just go right into it. We have a list of 11.
Okay.
First one, the guy not having money.
The guy does not have plenty money.
Yes. No, I didn't say plenty money. The guy not having money.
That's kind of big because some people are working and they're earning something.
The guy is not having enough to take care of himself and the people around him. Because even plenty money too is big.
Let me hear your take first.
No, you answer, then I'll say my take.
Okay.
Let me say my take, sir. The guy not having money, again, I would say this statement, as I said, I don't think it's a red flag. I don't think it's something that you should not enter a relationship or
marriage,
not break up with the person for. It depends. If it's a situation, everybody, and this is both guys and girls, there are times where you yourself don't have money as a lady. So if you don't have money as a lady, does that mean that you are less than a human being or anything? Most times it might depend on the person's situation in life, right? So I think just taking money alone as an absolute and saying it's a red flag and you lose entire relationship with the person, it's kind of funny. What I would say though is, and I've always said this, that what you want to look out for is the person's work ethic, the person's behavior, the person's how hard the person works, the person's plans. And the best way to judge someone's work ethic and plans is not just by what they will say they will do. In case they will tell you that they are going to build the biggest pharmacy in the world and name it after your name, right? What you want to look out for is what the person has done in the past, right? How has the person always held themselves, how the person always carried themselves, right? So just looking at the person's, like, let's say July 2023, you might not have more than 2,600 in your bank account, or as they say, a radio station amount, 76.5 in your bank account. But in a month, you can get a job, you can get a gig, and you can have, say, $1,000 in your account. So just taking the money as an absolute no. But work ethic is what I would look out for. Okay. So do you think it's a red flag? Would you allow your daughter to enter a relationship with the guy that doesn't have money?
So just like you said, this might be a good time for you guys to recall the Sam and IJ doctrine on relationship on core values, interest, and then external things, faith, love, and all that, right? I would say that if this is someone that is a good person, the person has good value systems and is an objectively good man, right? And someone that you can get married to, that you love and you want to build and everything. The fact that the guy does not have money, right, should not be a reason why you should not date him. If the guy has a good work ethic, he has good values and everything, not having money is definitely a temporary situation. It's definitely a temporary situation. So I don't think that is a red flag for you not to marry the person and everything. However, it gets very complicated because there are some situations where it can be funny because sometimes by their fruit you shall know them.
Mm.
So sometimes you need to be sure that the reason why the guy does not have money is not that he's actually lazy and is just giving you sweet mouth that he's not lazy. Because a guy can have sweet mouth
I
and
doubt
is talking
anybody will
about
say, I am lazy and I don't want to make money. Everybody
exactly,
will always say, I'm not lazy.
exactly. So for such people, the way you know if it is just a temporary thing and it's not just sweet mouth person is going to Google you, is that you look at their past and check what they have done with what they have.
Yeah.
Because not all of us are given the same amount in life. Some people actually start from the socioeconomic bottom,
Yep.
so to speak. So they might not have enough, or based on what they were served in life, they've made
so much
something
for
of themselves, or
Yeah.
made something of themselves. That means that you can be sure that the person will continually grow with you. You understand that? So that is the major thing. So you look at the person's track period, because not what the person is saying about themselves, because every man proclaims his own good.
Yep.
So it's not really what they are saying about themselves, but you look at what they have done over time to know whether this person is a lazy person. So a guy that is sitting down, not doing anything and is saying it's only temporary, or that this one is not temporary. But you see someone that's been trying, has done some things before,
And you see
maybe
the
had a
person
hard
have
moment and all
results.
that.
Yeah.
And this is very, very important, because even after marriage, in this kind of Nigerian economy that we have,
Things can
things can
tough.
happen,
Yeah.
things can become tough.
Things-
If that
things
happens,
happen.
you're not going to leave the marriage, are you? And these things are happening to people right now. Like where a guy loses his job or something happens,
I mean, even
the
look at
business and all that.
inflation, people losing jobs
Exactly.
and things like that. But I would say this: if we said red flags is things you look out for to meet or enter a relationship, or if you're in a relationship. Now the question is, if someone's already in a relationship,
Yes.
and you've spent some time in the relationship, and you've seen this repeated, like you've been 1 year, 2 years, isn't that should
should
be like
break up.
enough time, like
You should break up.
for you to already have all the
If
information.
after the period you have enough for to see that this guy is actually a laggard, it's not that it's just lack of money in his pocket, but it's
That's
actually a
more than
laggard.
enough.
It's a red flag.
So like you don't come and listen to this and think that
He won't take care of you. Because taking care of you is never about him having more money than you. Because you can actually earn more than him, but the money that both of you are earning is for the family. And that's why I just take a quick segue here and say that the fact that he's not earning enough to pay the rent for both of you is not a good reason not to marry them. Because if he's earning something and you are also earning something, that is the family income. And it's enough for you guys to start a family together. I'm talking to Christians now. I'm not talking to people that have worldly values and everything. I'm talking to true Christians, right? Even if the guy is earning less than you, that what makes him a provider is that he has he's a good man that he can spiritually provide for the family, and that means that allowing you as his wife to be all that you are meant to be is actually a way of providing for the family, because the money that she's bringing is provision for the family.
Yeah.
So in that way, he's providing for the family. So as long as the couple has enough, if both of them are earning enough to provide food for themselves, to provide shelter for themselves, and to provide clothing, that's what you need to get married. You don't need more than that. Food, clothing, and shelter. If you guys have enough to pay rent, you have enough to buy food in your house, and you have enough to clothe each other, it's enough for you guys to start getting married.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
I kind of have to time myself. We won't even get to number 5.
I'm sure the producer will find you recording it. It's fine. Let's
Okay.
just talk about it.
So let's go to the second one. She doesn't cook or clean.
She doesn't cook or clean. Let me go first.
Yeah.
Depends on the why.
On the why.
On the why.
Okay.
I don't cook or clean because I was never really trained about it. So we can always learn. We can always make adjustments for each other. That is an external thing. It's an interest level thing. It's not a core value level thing.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I said it depends on why. Not being able to cook or clean can be as a result of two different kind of value system issues. It could be a person has good value system, the person wants what is best for their family, and the person has just never learned it. And so based on that, the person doesn't know how to cook or clean, or maybe the person is used to people taking care of them when they were small, so they didn't have that presence of mind to learn that you have to put your home together as a lady and to clean the house and everything and all that, right? But there's also, I can't cook or clean because I believe it's beneath me. Cooking or cleaning is not beneath anybody, especially even the husband. But in this case, we're talking about the lady. It's not beneath you. If the person is saying it from some kind of rebellious, fourth wave feminist position of I'm a woman, I'm not going to cook or clean for any guy. I'm sorry, you understand. If the guy is saying she's going to use another this thing, That says I'm not going to cook or clean for any guy because I'm a feminist, I'm a kileko and all. That's a red flag breakup. Do you know why? The person is not putting the family ahead of their whatever position. They are putting their political stance ahead of the family. If the family needs someone that will be at home to cook or clean, right? And in the family, the husband and wife decide together that they want to split the roles in the traditional sense or whatever reason, right? If nobody should come into that marriage deciding upfront that there's something good for the family that they cannot do, even the guy. Nobody should come to a family union deciding upfront that there's something they cannot do that is good for the family, even the guy. Do you understand that?
Yeah,
Talk
because
less
I was going
for
to ask you that should that also be a red flag?
it is.
If the guy says,
It is.
I will not cook or
That's a
clean.
red flag. That is red. That's not Christian at all. The Christian leadership is
I
serving.
thought they said they will not.
No. There are some things that are traditional based on our basic biopsychology that over time naturally came out. However, those rules are not absolute.
Yeah.
That's why we are human beings, we're not chimpanzees and gorillas. There are some situations where we'll have to make adjustments. So traditionally, because of our build-up and our personality, generally broadly for men, we are doing things that are more outwardly facing, and the mothers do things that are more nurturing facing, right? And all that. So traditionally and all over the world universally, those kind of two pictures naturally evolve. However, there are some cases where things might have to be changed, things might have to be different. And the Christian family, you are coming together, leaving your parents together to build something new and what is best for that union. That means if that thing is good for the family, you cannot come into it saying that you cannot make those sacrifices for the family.
Yeah.
That you cannot do those things for the family. Because that's not what Jesus teaches us. Jesus actually teaches us that the leader of the family, leader in the body of Christ or in the household of Christ, sacrifices and washes the feet. If Jesus can wash the feet of human beings, his disciples, why can't you cook and clean for your wife? Like, how? So, and then more so, and I'm saying more so, more so because traditionally women nurture. Of course, I've already explained that it's not an absolute. But traditionally women nurture. How much more when traditionally women nurture, you now say because of some kind of Western political ideology, you cannot do it. So so the question is, the red flag depends on the core values from which
where it's coming from.
Where it is coming from. Where the core values come from. What would you say?
I agree with that, right? Because in my mind, I think cooking and cleaning is a skill anybody should know how to do. Right? Nobody, like, by the time you get to, if as an adult, you should be able to take care of yourself and clean up after yourself. Like,
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be a big deal. But I think the reason why it's such a polarizing issue is not really the cooking and cleaning, is the why.
Is the why, yeah.
So the why is what is making the cooking and cleaning issue such a very passionate one, where people are saying, you're telling me to cook and clean because I'm a maid, and people are saying, you must know how to cook and clean because you must be a homemaker, and things like that. So it's not really about the cooking and cleaning, because when you look at cooking and cleaning in itself, right, even guys that live alone before they get married,
exactly.
They are cooking and they are cleaning.
Exactly.
Right? And then there's also the part of the conversation where in a day and age, people are working, both
husband and wife.
Husband and wife is working. And let's not kid ourselves, cooking takes time.
Yeah.
Like even the kinds of meals that we cook, healthy meals, most of it will take time. Like we want to even move away from consuming so much fast food, microwavable food. So if you want to make proper meals, it's going to take time. It's actually time consuming. You have just 24 hours in a day. Same with cleaning. If you're going to properly clean your home, it's going to take time and all of that. So, and most people are career people, like how much of their time are they going to spend cooking and cleaning and all of that. So I think it's less the actual act and more the reasons behind it. And that's what should help you know if it's a red flag.
Yeah.
But you need to follow no rules. Like if you follow people who just say, if she can't cook and clean, don't marry her. Right? I'm sorry for you.
That's true.
And then, like I say, on the other side, if you say, if he asks me to, if he talks about cooking and cleaning, but I don't even think the guy should be demanding that, oh, you must cook, you must clean and things like that. So is the why, right? Is the reason behind that you should go for, and don't just stick.
Yeah, but I should say something. What if it comes from not being taught how to cook and clean? But the person wants to learn, but the person just cannot do it now. So is that still a good enough reason?
No, but the funny was, you made a statement, right? When you were trying to say people that might not have been taught and things like that, you said around how to take care of the home, right? The goal is knowing how to take care of yourself, knowing how to take care of your family, right? You don't actually have to physically do every single act by yourself. We just even spoke about cooking and cleaning, but there's a whole lot more.
Yeah.
There's planning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's strength and
Yeah.
so there are a lot of things that people do. Nobody is born knowing all skills. Even the skills that we both employ today, we do not learn 100% of all those skills from the home. So if it's things that you never grew up learning, right? For me, once you are 17 years old, once you're 17, 18, you are an adult, right? You're not a mini or a micro, you're an adult. You should learn how to start taking care of yourself. Once you're aware enough to know that these are things, if I want my home to be in a certain way, then that means I must be conscious enough to know the kind of things I'll put in place to be able to.
Let me paint a picture. So this is what I meant specifically. A guy meets a girl, he likes her, she's very good. But the only issue is that she does not know how to cook. And it's not as if she's a bad person, but she wants to learn. But when she tries, it's always a disaster.
Yeah.
And what should he do?
To be honest, like I think it's also an opportunity for the guy to introspect. He really needs to ask himself the question that what's really important to me. I'm not an advocate of people denying themselves because I think that's another cause of problem. People want to virtue signal and not want to look like I don't want to look like that guy that is always talking about food. I'm not a foodie. But deep down, you really know that
He wants
it matters to you,
yeah.
right? And on the other end too, people really need to self-introspect. Like if it's something, if I want to make my partner happy and the person truly loves me cooking food, why can't I learn how to cook? Like I see, I don't think it will be that terrible. Let's say that you've burnt all the video and everything. There's no kind of skill that you give time and attention to. Talk less of things like cooking that you will be good. And guess what? There's nobody, well, maybe chefs, but there's nobody who is good at cooking everything, every single food in the world. I can say that me, I'm good at cooking things like before. When I say, but there are some other things that till today. So even that, right? I think in a situation like that, both parties, how they react really betray their hearts. Like, but sincerely speaking, if it really, really matters to the guy, I don't know, that might be a ground. Don't stress the woman in future, especially when you are very aware of the type of person she is. So that you don't come in future and be saying, you have been married 5 years, you've never cooked okay salad for me. But you knew that after fried egg and eba, I can't do anything else. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so if he really needs to check.
Yeah. You know me advice? I advise that in this world that we're in now, good women are scarce.
You should not break up because of that.
You should not break
He
up
should
because of
not
that.
give her wahala.
I'm just saying, absolutely, exactly. You should not give her wahala, but you should not break up because of that. I think you should just be upfront about it and say, I would really like it if you know how to cook so, because it is traditional in our family, right? He can even go and learn it himself to teach her and all those kinds of things. But you know that there's a difference between I cook food for myself and you cook food for me. Sure, if you come from that kind of background where it's for you, it's a kind of show of love.
It's a show of love.
It's a show of love and it's an expression of love.
Food is funny like that. Food is
Yeah,
actually.
and trust me, from guys' perspective, it is. So if it's important to you, right, let her know that I see this as an act of love and it's important to me. But because you are beautiful, this one is just a small issue, right? Let's go ahead. But I'm
Beauty is
begging you.
beauty.
No. If she's a good person, I'm assuming
Okay,
that
like-
I'm assuming that she's a good person that also loves him
Okay.
and wants to do what is right.
Guess what? If the
Yeah.
person really loves him as well, she's
Exactly.
willing.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That in such a case, the person is a good person. She's willing. I don't think you say until she learns how to cook it. Or I'm not going to marry. I think you should go ahead
I'm
and
not saying
let
until
her.
then, but what me I'm saying is you should be well aware of it. And if it's a very like deep issue for him that will come to, so that's the thing when people are in the early stage of
She
relationship,
doesn't resent her
everything
later.
is beautiful, but much later when you're tired, you now be saying I miss food, or you'll be seeing your mates or people that see when we went to
But
the
she should
person's
have. If
house.
she's a good person, she should have learned by them.
But if he's a good
she has
person, you should have
knowledge,
let it
go.
go.
Yeah.
Don't come and stress and people.
Yeah.
All right, I doubt we'll be able to do the 11.
No, let's go.
Okay, let's go. So this is even riding on this. Again, other common red flags we heard about. She's not friendly with my family.
That one is an issue. She has to go out of her way to be friendly to your family.
And what
She needs to try. Now, it's different from if your parents are the ones that are not friendly,
the antagonistic.
But if she is not friendly towards your family members is a red flag.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it's a red flag is because
Am I overdoing it? Am I
I
overseeing it?
don't think you're overdoing it. And here is why, like, even me thinking of my own family and how we're close and things like that, I wouldn't have wanted to marry someone who won't be
Very close to your
who
family.
won't be very charming in my family. Especially this particular issue is always a big deal for people who come from close knit families.
Yeah.
Like people who have that close. So I think it's big enough. Now, where there's too far, there's taking it too far where you, because we know that when you are married to a person, you leave your family and you
Yes,
leave.
yes, yes.
So now
Okay.
there's taking it too far where your
Yeah.
family is in the know of every
Everything.
single
Oh,
detail.
okay, I understand.
That one is now even a red flag
Yeah.
in its own. And for that person, whoever is the partner or spouse of that person, I'll say it's something to look out for, is a red flag. But if it's just about just being friendly, like just being accommodating, just being nice, without crossing any lines, yes, I think it's a red.
It's a red
I
flag.
agree that it's a red flag.
Yeah. I think even if your family are not close, I think you want to marry a person that even if your family are not close, maybe because you guys have a lot of distress or paranoia in African family, and you believe that one of your aunties or uncle, someone your brothers has done jazz to you, and because of that they don't talk and everything. Even if you come from that kind of family, if the person you're marrying is a Christian, is a child of God, the person's instinct should be what can be done to repair the broken walls or build bridges in your family, not someone that is really that is happy to join into the fight of picking sides and wants to, if someone is ready to become your partner and the person is eager to jump into the fray to pick sides on matters or family members and wants to fight, and I don't think that it's called a spirit of sectarianism. No? There's the spirit of discord. Spirit of discord, you don't want, there's a red flag.
Imagine starting a family with that kind of person.
Yeah, it's a red flag. Spirit of discord is a red flag.
Okay. So let's just jump. They have many exes.
Ah. Yeah.
Let's even start. For you, what's many exes?
My sister.
Where does many exes start from?
It's hard to draw the line.
Okay.
It's hard to draw the line. Let me see, depending on the age and depending on the context. Let me not give specifics because it's derail the conversation.
Okay, but to explain what you mean, if I understand, so let's say someone is 25 and they already have 10 exes. Is he plenty? Is he much?
Based on my experience.
Okay, but let me ask you a question.
Based on my
Exes that you had before you were 18 years old, do they count? No, those things are
depends on how serious you were. 18 years old children, they're not children. Some of them go
teenage love. Now let's
my sister, there's baggage in those things also. Because the intensity of I'm telling you, the intensity of infatuation and intensity of cleaving, emotional cleaving and attachment is very strong. And the breakup is not any less. And many of them are some of them are even sexually active. So it's not a joke.
So many exes.
In my experience, the people that dated somebody with plenty exes, in our experience, it didn't turn out well.
Okay, let me ask you, as you say as a pastor, if you have people that, what is the person that you know is one?
Let me tell you one of the problems that I have. One of the challenges I had advising people like this is that if a man has 30 exes, he's a child of God, all things are passed away. But you know the problem? Yes. How to be sure that all things are passed away? How can you be sure that all things are passed away? Because what kind of spirit is at work in you that makes you commit to people
and break up
and somehow end it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
And then you had the 17.
What kind of spirit is at work in you? We need to have serious conversation.
I think that's for me, that's the place to start. Is to have serious conversation.
Let me just say the flag is an orange flag. It's a serious orange flag that can either become green or red pending serious conversation.
I agree. That is it. I think I'll take that. It's amber.
It's amber.
When you have the conversation, you know whether this is the red flag.
We need to be sure whether it was sexual.
Yeah, I was saying it's not different if it's sexual exes, like
let's know
body count.
Let's know. Let's talk about it. So, what are your expectations of me? You have met one possessed guy that knows how to somersault and do this thing. I'm a child of God. I don't know how to do backflip. What are your expectations? Hope it's not become an issue.
Yeah.
That your expectations are not being met. I have to have serious conversations.
There's even another segue red flag is even being friends, close friends with your exes.
No, no, you cannot be friends with your exes, man. It's a red flag.
But friendship
I
is
rebuke
friendship.
it in Jesus' name.
Friends is
No,
friendship.
no, nobody should have. You cannot be friends with your exes.
Ah.
No, you are brothers in Christ, you're not friends. Yes.
Well, but we are all in this one big family.
Shake when you see each other outside.
hug.
No, what are you hugging for?
Oh, it's just stop at shaking.
Shake each other. Tell how are you doing? I hope all is well with you. Are you still in the faith? Thank you very much. And that's it. No talking. What are you?
So let's go back to this one. To be honest, I agree with is Amber. To have a deep conversation.
Yeah.
Because
So the deep conversation, what are you looking for?
deep conversation is to understand the why and if there has been true change. Because like we've always said, nobody will ever say I'm a bad person, and unless they are even trying to.
So bad people might not even know they are bad.
Understand? I think the deep conversation will even start with what to look out for is if the person themselves are not aware or do not think it's a problem. Do you understand? If you think it's a problem, then let them go to someone who doesn't also think it's a problem. Let them people like that in the world, let them meet each other and then they know that they have mutual understanding that life happens or whatever reason they give themselves. But if to you it's a possible problem, I think it's a problem that many exes you had 15, 17 different people that you've dated, many sexual exes as well. I think if the person doesn't see it as a pattern, that's it. If the person doesn't recognize what the pattern is or doesn't even see it as a pattern, those are part of the conversation you are trying to find out. That do you actually see this as a problem? The problem now is, especially if you're trying to enter a relationship with someone who likes you, if they see from your body language that is a problem to you, they might want to hand that to your conversation and say, oh yes, I see the problem, but I'm changed. The deep conversation you are having is to see, does this person really see it as a problem and have they really changed? Right? Or am I just going to be one of the casualties? 17th story to tell the 18th person. So those are part of the conversation.
I would add that, however, if you have that conversation and you get a green light and both of you are proceeding, you must, and you commit to the person, you must not use it against them.
In future.
You cannot let it cloud. You cannot say, I saw her smiling with a colleague, or I saw him. If you commit, you believe the person is right and you commit, you cannot use it as a filter to interpret something that happens in the future. You have to trust them and go ahead. So that means before you go and trust them, make up your mind. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. I've met like 3 into 2, so let me just jump.
Okay.
Different tribe or race.
Different tribe can never be a red flag, except the person has wrong values. Don't forget the Sam and Nigel doctrine. Core values, interests, personality, and then external stuff. If the person is from different tribe, whatever, that means both of you still have one tribe, and your tribe is your core values. So what should divide us is our core values. So there's a tribe that have certain values. You cannot use biological tribe or cultural tribe to differentiate or is a red flag and all that. It's not. It's about the person's core values.
Let me ask you another question. You've said sometimes stereotypes are not bad.
Yes, they're justified.
They're justified. You know, most of these issues with core values, the way I'm going. Most of these issues with tribe, wasn't core values or anything. Most of these issues with tribe comes because whether it's from the family or from the parents, they are just stereotypes with a certain culture. Yes. And here's the funny thing, it might not even be, especially in Nigeria where we have the major tribes, it might not even be between Igbo and Yoruba. Even within Yoruba, they will say if you are Ijebu, if the person is Ijebu, you cannot marry. Do you understand? And the parents usually justify that with some form of stereotype or what's the person's PTSD or what they've gone through in the hands of said tribe. The question now is, do you think there are any stereotypes that can be justified in this case?
Yes.
In case of tribes?
Yes, some tribes and some racial stereotypes may be justified in the sense that majority of people from that tribe have those kind of value systems because culturally they teach and communicate that thing to each other. However, at the end of the day, that is not the reason in itself why you are saying no to the person. The reason why I say no to the person is because the person has displayed negative values that is common in their tribe. At the end of the day, it's still about the values. So the person can be from a certain tribe, and it's absolutely no reason because the person has the right values. And that's the reason why we have to be careful with stereotypes because as much as you can see, I've noticed that certain things are common in certain people. You can never use it as a way to judge a person ab initio, from
Yeah.
the way you see the person and judge the person based on that. You still have to get to know the person and judge the person on their own merits. So, so yeah, no, I don't think I would absolutely say that tribe and race is
It's
not
not
an
a,
issue.
it's not the red
That
flag.
I think it's the moment we have to talk about people that believe that race makes sense is evil. People that believe that they're not going to heaven.
I agree.
Not going to heaven.
Um, okay, so I'm going to jump to, they are not intellectually on the same level.
What do you think?
What do you mean by you're not intellectually on the same level? Is marriage an academic like what does that even mean? What am I supposed to write a dissertation in marriage?
No, no, I think I understand where it's coming from for some people. I
Oh
think
yeah, now.
it's like this thing is important to me. I like having certain kinds of conversations, and it even affects the way they're attracted to someone. So there are some people that when they can talk to the person, they start getting attracted to the person.
You know why my face is like this,
Why?
right? Because most of those people that even intellectually people don't always even, well, let me put it like this. People that might be very intelligent or have high IQ and go about boasting about it are not very emotionally intelligent. And I'm never impressed by people who are actually academically intelligent and intellectually supposedly intelligent, have high IQs, but have very low emotional intelligence. Like it's not an impressive trait. The fact that you can store a lot of information in your head or you know about a lot of things. For me, I'm like, I'm sorry, but people that are prospering in life, I don't see that correlation to say that because they are all, it doesn't correlate with happiness either. It doesn't correlate with some of the good values I want to see in myself and my children. So you that you are for me, you want somebody like what do you want me to be doing in marriage? I should be writing what? I should be doing literary review recites. I beg. People
So
that
what about to have conversations?
have conversations with your colleagues in the office. Like so yes, that's the thing. I think
Those
people
are not the only conversations you can have.
in marriage, like you are being friends. Are you trying to tell me that your friendships will only
Only
be
be those.
on the basis of intellect?
Mm.
Friendships, see, the
Mm.
huge chunk of what you do in marriage is have a friend, have a companion, right? Have a physical partner. Now, the reason why you need all those things because you are going through life together. And guess what? Life does not throw intellectual problems at you.
Nah.
Life throws problems.
You're spitting,
Do you understand?
You're
Life just
spitting, no
throws
cap.
problems. Life throws financial, physical, health. You are healthy. What is your intellect going to do? Can you use your brain and touch somebody and it has to start working? Like, do you understand? You are looking at me that way. People use their mind.
No, when you're saying it's actually really good because I've gotten
Yeah,
some ideas.
people use their mind to fix world problem. But what I'm saying is, as you go through life with a companion, you need someone who is actually emotionally intelligent. You need someone who is able
loves
to
you,
understand,
someone-
who
yeah.
loves you. You are going to go through painful
Matters
things
of
in
the
life.
heart and not
Matters of the heart are not. Do you understand? And here's the funny thing. That's why people are intellectual. When they go through heartbreak, it's always very disastrous. They can just go and press bomb and burn the whole world. But they don't train themselves on how to be emotional people. But because in their mind, most times what happens is they can't fathom the fact that with all their intelligence or with how good they are, this kind of emotional problem. Sometimes they cannot even show the relation. They won't even see it coming because their intellect did not show them how people are moving. And so they go through heartbreak I think the way they manage heartbreak is always very disastrous because you might have something in your head. You might know that this thing I'm going through is heartbreak. You can see the 1 + 1 is equal to 2. But by the time your body begins to feel it, by the time you begin to feel the loss of, imagine losing a child in marriage and you are processing that. Do you want somebody that will come and start telling you that, rationally speaking, 5 children die every year? I will punch your face. So for me, when people move that way of, oh, I need a babe, and it looks like I'm reacting as if guys are saying, I'm just assuming. And when people begin to move that way,
you look at guys are more interested in
guys are
things.
more interested in things like that, right?
Yeah.
But when people begin to move that way, I'm like, oh, my life has not happened to you. Because if life has happened to you, find out that most times who you run to get shook off,
It's not the person that will do quantum physics discussion with you.
you will go to some of them will run to their mothers who will not say anything, will just hug them, cook good amala for them, and go buffet, and they are okay. Do you understand? And at that point in time, the mother did not say anything intellectual.
I want someone that can discuss theology with you.
Let's bring down because that's another part of the problem.
It's still nerdy stuff now.
Nerdy stuff, right? To see you're looking, I'm like, I'm sorry, but when you're going through life, yes, you must. I believe human beings are intellectual, just like the way Tim Keller says. when you are thinking of your faith,
Community part.
there's a community, there's a personal, and
And
there's
it's
an
intellectual.
intellectual part. But you cannot just take one part and make that the entirety of who you are. So because intellect is not the entirety of who you are, taking it as
The only thing
the
that
one thing you use to make a decision, especially if the person is also, imagine having a good friend.
are you so passionate? Have we talked about this thing before? Why are you so
Yeah, I
passionate
realized
about
that I don't see him before the thing they vexed me when I saw it. Because maybe the reason why it vexed me is because I felt like, and I might be wrong, I felt like when I saw people say it, they were being pretentious.
Smoothly and
Do you understand? I felt it was a snobbish comment, so maybe that's why it's I'm reacting this way.
but you're a very intelligent person now.
No, I'm not taking it personal.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm not taking it personal. But anytime I see comments like that in my mind, I'm like, you yourself, do you think you have the brain? Do you understand? Like, why do you think that? First and foremost, who are you calling not intellectual? Like, who do you think you are to be calling somebody?
I feel you. I would also advise people that legitimately, and I'm saying this because of the kind of friends that I have, someone that it, and what they call it, sincerely is more attracted to girls that he finds that he can talk with, he can rap with, that naturally, even if the girl is in quote not so fine, once you can talk with her, you just start thinking about her every time. Like, people like that that I've known and everything. And because of that, they always had that issue of, you'll see a fine girl, after some time, they'll say the love just fizzled out because they wanted to start talking about tenets and how the time lapse was happening,
And they could
but
not
she
hold
was
the
not,
conversation.
but she could not hold the conversation because of that. It was like, and all this kind of thing. If there's someone like that under the sound of my voice who legitimately is not attracted to ladies who and all that and all that, I would say that first of all, your spec is problematic. You need to know that it's a problematic spec. What you're playing it is fire. Because these intelligence people that you're looking for, they're also the ones that are very intelligent in breaking people's hearts. So be careful. Me, I'll pray for you that God will give you that intelligent person you're looking for, that can hold conversation and also be a good person. However, I would advise you, if it is that important to you, please don't say because you watched a podcast where they said values are the most important thing. Therefore,
you don't deny yourself.
Exactly. Therefore,
I will always advocate. Don't
therefore,
deny
if
yourself.
she's not intelligent but she has good values,
don't go and stress.
I will manage her.
No, don't go and stress
Please,
anybody.
if you have not built yourself,
First, you'll be giving the person papers. You don't be sending the person books. The person will not read it.
no, it's even the one of you just be like, well, I can't talk to you. No, I want to talk to my friends. Yeah, so there's no
And then the
conversation.
person now finds a female friend after you married that is able to go like start catching feelings.
Until the Holy Spirit works on you to remove that bad spec, that evil spec from your body. Right? Don't go and say you want to manage someone's daughter because, or manage someone's son. If a lady is a lady, manage someone's son because the person has good values. You can't hold the conversation, you don't enjoy the conversations, but you want to manage the person. Let God work on you first. I pray that God will give you someone that will show you that this is your intelligence that you're carrying on your head. It does not mean anything.
God might not give the person someone. God will give the person situation. When you see the intellectual person, but problem always no peace. Hey, imagine, I'm sorry, this is last chance. Imagine having that kind of person and all you are doing is just having violent arguments. When you finish arguing, who do you go to go and put your head at? My head is paining you.
That's another issue. You want to marry someone that's intelligent. Many times people are saying that they are saying, I want someone who is intelligent and agrees with most of what I believe. Because if the person is very intelligent and is disagreeing with you on everything, and you are bringing your good argument, the person is giving you back. And when you are arranging fallacious argument, the person is telling you, oh, God, that's the way you talk now, fallacy, give you back. You know that tension because it's trauma. He said, no, it's before you know it, because you know that in relationship, studies have actually shown that if you argue more than a certain amount of times in your marriage,
it's a very big
the other marriage is on the way down and all that. So you're not supposed to be arguing every time and everything. So that one says thing. Most times, just like you said, people that say that thing, they are saying from the assumption that the intelligent person they will find will always agree with them. Because if they picture, imagine an intelligent person that is like their political opponents, they will say they don't want.
True. Actually. Okay.
So let's go.
This one was low-key women. This one is to men. Chivalry in men. Is it a red flag?
You really brought that up.
Yes, I really brought it up. Like men that don't like carry your stuff or let them use open door, open your downfall door because that's it all of us Africans.
Are you a feminist or not?
Excuse me, can I explain my red flag very well. Would
Okay,
you like to
explain
enter?
it. Explain it.
And it's because, do you understand? This, yes, I added it.
Okay.
Right? Because these are the issues.
Okay.
Right? You understand? We tell you that you should young people are on the jail. Or you to go and carry the steel
I want to ask you
upstairs.
something. This thing you're talking about, did the person always used to do it? Eh?
Well, that's also a red
Because
flag.
once you want the person to,
Especially
you want something that one can carry, you want them to carry it every time for you. Because person now said he wants to work with you once, you now say, is that red flag?
But it's a question. But to be honest, it just triggered a memory that is actually a red flag. Because these are pointers to deeper things. If the man cannot open door and really take care of
At
you.
best is an orange flag.
No, but one of okay.
Or amber, sorry, amber.
Let me put the extreme. One of the guys who are like almost my guy to a fault, who almost like treat you like a guy.
No, that's no, sorry, that's
Such
like,
that you know the way guys are with themselves and
no, that's rubbish. I don't think there's any normal guy that will see a lady and his instinct is not to want to do protective. Chivalry is a cultural manifestation.
Like that, too.
Well, of course, there are always
Maybe
human beings like that.
maybe it's because of this day and age polarization of these issues. There are guys who alpha males are not those people in those WhatsApp
Right,
groups.
right.
There are guys who are like, no, you must not do this for a woman. You must speak.
Oh, that's rubbish. That's rubbish. Those ones, no, it's a red flag. If someone follows and dictates or all those guys, or what the one,
Big red flag.
it's a red flag. It's not, no, don't bother. Don't bother. They will use you for okay. Because the instinct of every good man is to want to protect. Chivalry is actually a cultural manifestation of that innate protective instinct. So I want to open the door for. I come from the part of if anything's on the door as it's coming out, that instinct of
not that the go out.
now me touch first.
You are rough.
Do you
You
understand?
know those memes when something like there's this meme, I don't know what it is. Someone comes like a ghost
Yeah.
in the night, like a man and a woman are walking and someone comes like a ghost and the guy has taken
Do you
off.
understand? No. So it's a red flag. Now, some guys might not know the cultural proper manifestation of that instinct. So it's an amber. So you have to teach them that, bro. I'm carrying heavy load, bro. Help me. Right? Show me that you'll be there to protect me with little gestures and all that so you can wait. And if guys might say no, can you control the one is not paying you, all those kind of things. I don't mean it when he says it once in a while to stroke it, but it means it actually means it. I think it's a red flag.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's end on one funny one.
No, we're going to the see this.
Okay, which one?
I will just add the two of them together.
Okay.
So we can end on those two. One, they are not serious in church, or they don't speak in tongues.
I like this one.
Let's start. So those are two different ones.
I like this
let's
one.
let's take them together.
The person
And
is
they are not
not
serious in church. Now it goes both ways, right? Is that a red flag? And especially the person says, I'm a Christian, but I don't do this church.
So it depends on what you mean you're not serious in church.
I told you now I'm a Christian, but I don't do this church.
Now, no, that one is red flag. There's nothing like that. Then there's also the level of, there are levels of commitment.
Yeah.
There's a very high level of commitment, like maybe being in leadership and everything, and the person is not there. But there is a normal level of commitment that at least everybody who is safe will have.
Yeah.
If that normal level of commitment is what the person is saying, is what they mean by I'm not serious with, it's a red flag. Because every child of God, it's actually a pointer to good values.
Yeah.
That you love God and you love the guardian of the saints.
Yeah.
So that normal level of commitment, if the person does not see any reason in being committed to serve in a local church and all that, it's a red flag. It's a problem, right? So I know the conversation can get very, very
higher levels of
complicated.
commitment where the person goes for service, goes for midweek, right? You take part in whatever traditions that you have as a church. But when it comes to being a worker that now goes Saturday and
every
do you think it
Saturday,
should be a red flag?
I don't think it should be.
How can the pastor now?
Yes, I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be. I also don't think it should be. I don't think it should be.
Now, one of the cases where the person, because most times people that have this, where it's a question of being a red flag or not, are for people who themselves are on that level of commitment.
I think
and that's where it
and that's where my real advice comes from. I think there are some level of things, there are some issues in Christianity. People don't know anything. Like this world we're in, it's not easy to find children of God that are good. There are some levels of pickiness that are unreasonable. There are some levels of pickiness that are unreasonable. The person is a sound child of God, has the reasonable amount of commitment to local church that the person should have. but you are demanding leadership level type of commitment from the person, knowing the person's background and everything and all that. It's being unnecessarily picky. Because the person has to grow into it and all that. Now, okay, it might get complicated and say maybe okay, you are going into ministry
Yeah, so
and all that.
I think most of the time, assuming this is coming from a lady, most of the time it happens when it's the lady who is very committed to church, right? So what she doesn't want, instinctively, she's protecting herself from someone who will be like, yes, like especially if she wants to go body and soul, like she wants to give her all.
Yeah.
Um, to God, and then the guy might not be at the lowest level, but he's just not at that level, and she's seeing her future, and she knows it's something she's always going to want to do.
So what will happen is, what our advice is in this kind of conversation, the person is a good person, is a child of God. There's nothing wrong. That's just the issue. The other will sit down and talk about it. I'm sure that there's a way that the conversation can be had about it. There's some kind of your own level of high commitment to just over sabi. Yes, I mean in the sense of you're using it in the sense of validation. And so that is where you're getting a sense of validation from. And so that's where your drive is from and everything. It might not necessarily be the result of a sincere call or passion, or the business is as a result of the work that was committed into your hand and all that. So this conversation can actually get very complicated and to be on a case by case basis. So in such a case, I would advise you that it should not be something you break up over. It should actually something that you submit to the elders of the church and should talk about it. Do you understand that?
I think even looking at this is one big thing that will happen is ask the partner the question, the person you're dating, to say, is this going to be a problem? Are you going to, would you not allow me to go to church? I think the person sincerely says, I would love you.
Yeah, it's just that I will not go 5 times.
But I will go with you. Like then I don't think it should be a problem. And yes, you can go to your elders in your church and talk about it. But if there's a case of the person is like, all these things you are doing in church, after you marry, I don't
like
do that.
Bro.
Then that's where it's
the problem.
That's where it's going to be an issue, right? And I think most times it's the ladies that has this issue, because if it's the guy that is already committed, it almost feels like, I'm not talking of a Christian home, Christian relationship. The girl can almost already tell that if my husband is already entering assistance to, I can see it in my future, and by that time she should already be having those conversations with the guy to say, are you just like some of us had conversations, people asking them if they are going to be pastors in future, and then some people were telling questions that I think they could see the future. So,
yeah, so, and I want to use this as a leeway to talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just for Christian purpose, young people. There are some tertiary and secondary matters that we should not hold more dearly than some things that are more important. Secondary and tertiary matters that the tongue should not be a deal breaker for two good believers. It should not be. And I mean from both sides, they speak in tongues. So therefore, I don't want that. I'm not okay with tongues because I feel it's fake. Or she does not speak with tongues. If she does not speak in tongues, she's not like me. Therefore, she will not marry and all that. Or either way, both sides of the view of it. So tongues be a deal breaker. It should not be. Hey, listen to me, young people. Let me look at the camera.
Wahala.
This world we are living in is a terrible world. We don't have the luxury of many good children of God, sound believers that you can be playing around with. God has blessed you with a child of God that is everything. You will now say, unless the person does not speak in tongues, go and read your Bible. You will now say, unless the person does not speak in tongues, is it your tongues? Is it you that gives it? If the person is speaking and the person is sure they are speaking, what is your problem? Allow the person to speak. If the person does not speak yet and you believe the person should speak, those are conversations that you have over time and the Holy Spirit will direct you. You don't say because of that you will not build a good family. If it's that important to you, it's giving undue emphasis. And the suffering that is coming from all these kinds of things are unnecessary. Brethren, I will advise every one of us to know what are primary, what are secondary, and what are tertiary. And know that the things that are secondary and tertiary are things that can always be discussed and should not come between us as believers, especially when you find a good partner. That's my sincere advice to you from experience, because there are lots of things that even after getting married, you will grow in knowledge of. You might marry someone with certain persuasions, and over time, the person will read God's word and begins to their persuasions on those secondary matters, obviously not primary matters, right? But on those secondary matters, their thoughts begin to change. What will happen then? So please, let's be very careful. That's my own advice. What's your
Yeah, what you said.
own?
What you said. But yeah, I think so. So these are just a couple of red flags we went through. If you guys have other red flags, please
Yeah.
drop it in the comments at a later time or want
We'll
to
come to the ones that you
yeah,
update.
to anyone
We'll
that
do
we did
another
not
yeah, episode for you. So,
um
so yeah. So red flags or not. Thank you.